Mr. LaLota.
Thank you, Mr. D'Esposito. Mr. Thompson, do you want 30 seconds of my time to finish your thoughts, sir?
Just real quickly, I want to make very, very clear the Senate language you're alluding to, sir, did not eliminate illegal border crossings. Period. It did not.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Chairman, the reckless open border policies of the Biden-Harris administration have thrown New York City and its surrounding communities like the ones I represent into chaos, leaving law enforcement to deal with the devastating consequences of their failures. Today's hearing is timely and necessary, given the ongoing challenges posed by the unbelievable number of migrants crossing our southwest border and the transnational criminal organizations exploiting these policies. One of the most alarming threats is Tren de Aragua, a violent transnational gang that has been making inroads into New York City. Their brutal tactics, human trafficking, extortion, drug smuggling are fueled by the weak border policies of this administration, and their presence within our borders puts all of us at risk. Policymakers here in Washington, from both sides of the aisle, must not sit back and allow these dangerous criminal organizations to expand into neighboring areas like Suffolk County. These gangs not only undermine public safety, but also stretch the resources of our local law enforcement to the breaking point. This crisis necessitates action. When the new administration takes office, we must come together immediately to crack down on these criminal enterprises and fix the chaos at our southern border. It's not just about securing the border, it's about protecting our families, restoring safety, and enforcing the rule of law. I look forward to hearing from our witnesses more today as we have this dialogue about what they've experienced on the ground and how we can work together to make consequential and lasting policy decisions. Commissioner Ryder, welcome back to Washington, sir, and thank you for joining us today and for your continued commitment to protecting Long Island and our nation. Your testimony highlighted the increased strain on Nassau County due to the migrant crisis. And Commissioner, I was hoping that you could spend a minute or so further expanding upon that and telling us how the growing presence of the transnational criminal organizations like Tren de Aragua have impacted your department's operations.
The unvetted migrants that are in some of the houses that's given by New York City. The example, they're on the airport at JFK. There's a tent that houses over 400 migrants in it. They're at the Creedmoor, the old psych center on the Queens border of Nassau County, where they're also housing the migrants, and they're in what we call the Floral Park Hotel, which is on the city side of those areas. We got numerous complaints of quality of life, outside urinating, drunken, disorderly, and then it got worse when it got into violence with those that are joining those gangs that are now trickling over into Nassau County and strengthening the gangs that we took down back in 2017 when then President Trump came to Nassau County over the deaths of numerous people that were murdered by the MS-13 gangs. All of those individuals were migrants that were either undocumented or illegal in this country at the time. Those attempts by law enforcement to shut them down were successful. We started to bring them down. We're seeing that uptick again because of what's coming over the border. It's a porous border. If you don't check those that are coming through, how are we going to defend ourselves against them? And that's the challenge with law enforcement. Law enforcement looks at it, a community, addresses a community, and is respectful and fair to that community. But then all of a sudden, inside that 90% of crime is done by 10% of that population. All of a sudden, that 10% gets bigger.
Thanks, Commissioner. We know where some of this crime is coming from. Most of this crime is coming from the 5 boroughs. It's coming east through Nassau County. I appreciate your leadership in holding the line in Nassau County and stopping some of those folks from coming further east.
Thank you.
I want to, with the little time that I have remaining, just say a few words about my best friend in Congress, Congressman Anthony D'Esposito, who's chairing his last meeting of this Congress. And the clerk may want to distribute some tissues as I go through this. Not only is Despo my best friend here, he's no doubt about it, he's the best damn chairman this subcommittee's ever had. He's a retired NYPD detective who brought to this committee and Congress as a whole unparalleled experience, grit, and dedication to public service in every aspect of his work here in Washington. He's informed, of course, by 17 years of service in the NYPD, retiring with the rank of detective. He knows what it takes to protect our communities, respond to emergencies, and ensure the safety and security of all Americans. Under Despo's leadership, this subcommittee has tackled some of the most important and pressing moments of our nation's time, and the border crisis is our nation's most important crisis of the time. And he's also helped improve disaster preparedness and responses to advance critical technology to keep our first responders and communities safe. Despo never wavered in his commitment to bipartisan solutions, always putting the safety of our communities and country before his own party. I don't think anyone's going to miss Despo as much as I am, but this place is going to lose a phenomenal human, colleague, and representative. Thank you, my friend Anthony, for your leadership and friendship. I look forward to seeing what the future has in store for you.